The London and North Western Railway's Roe Green Junction to Fletcher Street Junction line opened for goods services on the 16th of November 1874, with construction starting in January 1871, and this line diverged away from the Eccles and Wigan line at Roe Green Junction and ran for 4.5 miles up to Fletcher Street in Bolton, where it connected to the Kenyon line into Bolton Great Moor Street Station. The line had a good number of passenger stations along the route, but all of these succumbed to closure by 1954, with the line closing a few years later to goods and through traffic. Everybody, and welcome back to Greater Manchester. I'm on the Roe Green Loop line. I visited this line about 10 months ago at the end of 2023, and I walked from just the edge of Manchester, and for about 10 miles I went in that direction towards Wigan and Lee, but I didn't quite go that far, so I've got to come back and do that. But we got Roe Green Junction, that's where I am now, look, and I went up that way last time and I came from down that direction, but we got Greenleach Lane just here. So what I've come to do today is walk that line. There's a few stations along this route. Walkden Low Level, there's also a Walkden High Level, which I believe is in operation today, I think, and Plodder Lane. That's a cracking name, isn't it? So Greenleach Lane, Roe Green Junction, we're going to push on, and I'll keep an eye out for all things of interest after we've looked at maps. The route picks up from Eccles Junction on the Liverpool to Manchester line, and in the previous video I picked up the line at Monton Green down here, going through Worsley and through Roe Green Junction on the line to Lee. But today I'm going to walk the route from Roe Green Junction, and we'll go through places such as Walkden Low Level Station, Little Hulton Station, and also Plodder Lane before ending up just shy of Bolton itself, with the bulk of the line going in towards Bolton for the last half mile or so completely obliterated and built on, sadly. Let's jump down to the track bed of Roe Green Junction. So this image captures it all really, doesn't it? There's Greenleach Lane going over the two bridges. You've got the signal box on the right hand side and the second bridge on the right, with the line going underneath towards Bolton. Track lifting's already on its way though, look. The line off towards Lee and back towards Eccles Junction, that's been straight line, look, there's new ballast down there, and I imagine track lifting for the rest of the route isn't far away with this photograph. From the similar location, look, this is probably taken off the actual road bridge. You can see pretty much taken about the same time. The ballast is still very white or grey, and the track is ever more overgrown, isn't it? And this is an absolute beauty, look, and you can see how it was. Both lines open, signal box looks absolutely immaculate, and you've got a LMS steam working with around about 4 or 5 carriages heading north towards Bolton. Nice little brick culvert there, look, a rectangular kind of shape. That's quite a nice feature straight away, isn't it? Walkden Low Level Station is first for us to find, and that opened in April 1875. It only lasted until 1954, a lot earlier than a lot of lines and stations that went on into the 60s, and that was the month of March. It's about a mile down here. I can see a bridge coming up, so let's go and check that out. And that's the very busy A580 East Lancs Road. Some red brick in there, isn't there? Looks really well looked after. Quite possibly a recent repair work and maintenance gone on, because that looks recently painted, doesn't it? And there it is from the other side. It was a bit tricky to get a close-up shot because the sun was beaming through and flashing glare on the lens. So, around about half a mile from our first station, used to have 2 platforms. Let's go and find it. Another bridge, that's Walkden Road up there. Walkden is just off to the right. I think it's the A575. Look at that lovely red brick underneath there, look. It's just a bit of a skew angle as well, isn't it? That is nice. Ballast remaining on the ground, look. It looks like it's been widened at some point, maybe for a pedestrian way. But below again, look, that beautiful, let's get you out the glare, that beautiful red brick. That's a good one, isn't it? Walkden is just off to my right hand side where the other station is, and I think we may pass under that track bed further down. Okay, this was pretty much the site of Walkden Low Station, 2 platforms, opening in 1875. Lasted until March 1954. Nothing remains, look. That's Park Road Bridge coming up ahead just there, and the other track bed follows immediately afterwards. I think I'll jump to maps now just to give you a quick idea of how both railways crossed each other and the location of the stations. And this is basically what it looks like. So Walkden Low Level Station, that is just down here. We've got the active line going across from left to right. And Walkden Station, open today, is on the Hindley to Manchester Victoria line just up here. You may also notice what look like railway lines coming away from our route to Bolton. These were actually industrial lines that crisscrossed all over the place, serving the various collieries and industrial locations in the area. The station at Walkden was opened in 1875 and it did have 2 platforms. It was renamed to Walkden Low Level in June 1924 and was closed to all traffic on the 29th of March in 1954, with the line continuing on for a few more years for freight traffic. There was an original proposal for a different name for this station, but this was overruled by the local boards, and it was to be called Walkden Stocks. I mean, that bridge is just ginormous in comparison to all the others that we've been below so far. Track bed up there might be wide enough for 3 individual tracks. That looks very, very wide, doesn't it? Off to Wigan in that direction and back to Manchester over there. That's a big boy, isn't it? Straight after the former Walkden Low Station. This is nice, isn't it? So this is Bridgewater Road that I'm passing below. Over there was Ellesmere Colliery. Walkden also had its own railway yard, which was probably purpose built for the collieries around, including Ellesmere. Little Hulton Station is next, probably about half a mile from here when we get to Manchester Road. Looks like there's a bit of infill happened here where there used to be a bridge. Here is that coping stone off one of them, one of the walls of the bridge. I bet you it is, you know. Another one through there as well, look. A couple more boulders, don't look so much like coping stones, do they though, them ones? I don't think they are. But the other 2 had that flat, predictable top. Parsonage Road, I believe, is up here. And I assume we're just going to ramp down back to the track bed on the other side. Yeah, there we go. Parsonage Road, back down to the track bed. Gas or water main going over there, look. Double pipe. Probably is water being that wide, isn't it? Old wooden sleepers through there on that embankment side, look. Okay, behind me, that is Hulton Lane. Next up, we're going to go under Manchester Road East, and that is where Hulton Station once resided. There's also a junction further down here. We've got Peel Hall Collieries off to the left, and we'd also got Brackley Colliery a little bit further up, both served by the branch going off at the junction. Nice piece of retaining wall there, isn't there? Where Hulton Lane is just ahead. That's good. Little Hulton Station, that opened in 1875 and again lasted until March 1954. 2 platforms. It was just next to Manchester Road East. And then the junction I mentioned previously, Little Hulton Junction, was about a quarter of a mile afterwards. What looks a bit like an aqueduct. What does it say? I can't make that out. Just says it was made in Miles Platting in 1868. I can barely make that out. So we know how old it is. We just don't know what it was for. Nice though. Going back to Roe Green Junction. It's probably a manhole and sewerage in that block. Manchester Road East. This is a big one, isn't it? I bet that's been extended on more than one occasion. Looks like it's got a support stanchion just there, look, on the left hand side. But nothing exciting apart from its blue brick left and right. Decent surface on this path all the way, by the way, if you want to come down and do it. And here is that support and the more typical arched base section, look. So that's been shotcrete, look, through there, so it probably is like that all the way along, and it's just been reinforced. And there's that brick support, look, coming down, and the abutments and some nice stone there as well, look. And immediately after Manchester Road East would have been Little Hulton Station. Looks like they've put a nice little makeshift wooden decorative reminder. That's very, very loud, wasn't it, that lorry and trailer? But yeah, would have been here, look, 2 platforms, one on the opposite side. Even a stone commemorative plaque, look, just here. Little Hulton Station, 1875 to 1954. Ahead it looks like we've got another missing bridge, or a road has been put in since the line closed. Coniston Grove, I believe it's called. We've got the M61 ahead, and also Little Hulton Junction, as I mentioned previously. Then we get to the next station, Plodder Lane. That's quite a cute name, isn't it, for a railway station? It's got this cute artwork put into the path just here, look. That's quite nice, isn't it? Adds a little bit of colour, especially for the children. And another supply pipe going over. There's been a few of them today. I think that's the 3rd one. There's another one just there, look. That's quite nice. More utility pipes, and that is Cleggs Lane up ahead, and Little Hulton Junction will be shortly afterwards. So Little Hulton Junction there, heading down towards where Pill Hall Collieries were. It would have served the Brackley Collieries. There's some engineering works down there, around about just over half a mile in length, and some sidings at the very end. We're going to approach the M61 very, very shortly, losing the track bed because that was built after the line closed, so no track bed for about 1/4 of a mile. Thankfully there is a diversion. Can walk around. It probably had about 10 minutes onto the route. And on the other side of the motorway would have been Plodder Lane Station, again closing in 1954. You can't see it, I've been followed by a black cat for about the last 5 minutes. Hopefully it's not going to get lost. Track bed disappearing as we approach the motorway. We can go left or right. I'll go right because I think I can see a sign which mentions this greenway that I'm on today. So leaving Little Hulton Junction behind, it's time to make the diversion around. It's going to take me about 10-15 minutes before I can pick up the track bed again. Under the M61 over here, there's a bit of a sketchy footpath going over a decent bridge, and then we'll pick up the track bed again near Plodder Lane Station. So I've come off the track bed just there. The motorway is the other side of those trees. You can see the pylon cables. Follow this down. I'm expecting to find a left that goes under the motorway. Then I'll have to pop onto a road to take another left. We should pick up the track bed very, very soon. Well, it's a bit of a sketchy footpath. Maybe I should have gone left instead. But hoping this will take us to where I want to go. This is very random. Yeah, there's a footbridge, look. Wow, unbelievable. Right, over the motorway, let's see what unfolds down here. Very, very curious, isn't it, this? Okay, footpaths coming along this field. I've just come out there, and I've got a venture down here. That flat line of bushes over there, that's the track bed. Got to get to them houses and take a left. where we should meet up with it once again. Okay, diversion almost over. This is Lucas Lane. Oh blimey, some more rail there, look, it can't be slim to get through here. Goodness me. Track bed should be about a minute up here. Okay, back on the track bed. Next bridge we're going to come to is Plodder Lane, hence where the name of our next station got its name from, Plodder Lane Station. And Plodder Lane Station was right here. The platforms would have been down there, as you can see. Sadly, Plodder Lane Bridge appears to be infilled. You can still see where the cutting is down there. Platforms would have been there, track and centre. There doesn't appear that there is any sign of Plodder Lane Bridge. Plodder Lane Railway Station served the southern part of Bolton. It opened on the 1st of April 1879. It was occasionally known as Plodder Lane for Farnworth. There was again 2 platforms as per previous, and it closed on the 29th of March 1954, the same as other station sites we've visited today. Absolutely no trace, look, all filled in. We're making our way on the descent down. Over the tops of the cottages or the bungalows in front, I have just had my first glimpse of Bolton. And round about here where this path is, just to the side of me, was Plodder Lane Engine Shed, and it was built by the London North Western Railway to coincide with expanding its operation in the Bolton area in the 1870s. It housed a 42-foot turntable, there was coaling and watering facilities on the western side of the line, and a goods shed and yard on the eastern side too. And this lasted in use until closure in 1954. Right, after Plodder's Lane, we've still been diverting, as I've mentioned, and down here we should pick the track bed back up once again. We've got about a mile to go until Bolton. So even now we're not actually on the track bed. Look, there's the embankment up to it just there, so it's quite high at this point. On the approach to Bolton and Bolton Great Moor Street Station, there was a short tunnel, but I don't think it was very long, and I'm pretty sure it's not there any longer. Bolton Great Moor Street Station, that opened in 1831 as the first station in Bolton. Imagine that in 2024, it was just 7 years off being 200 years old if it was still open and operational as that railway station. Consisted of 4 platforms. I think a little bit of the building still exists today, but for now I'm coming up to what I believe is another bridge with a road going over, and we've not got that much more to do. So that is Lever Edge Lane. We've got Settle Street coming up, bridge number 33 according to that plaque up there on the London and North Western Railways line into Bolton Great Moor Street. Very, very close to the end. We'll go on to the next bridge, and then I'll leave you with some pictures and a look at the map for Bolton Great Moor Street Station. So pushing on into Bolton, the line headed up to a junction known as Fletcher Street Junction, and there it took on a short journey into Bolton itself. Right in the heart of Bolton there was Great Moor Street Station, and this opened on the 11th of June 1831. How about that for its age? Nearly 200 years old it would have been if open, and it was originally named simply Bolton, but it was changed to Great Moor Street in October 1949. The original station was replaced and a new one opened in 1875 on the same site as the original station, but at a slightly higher level, and the rebuilt station had 4 platforms covered by a roof. Great Moor Street Station closed to regular passenger traffic on the 29th of March 1954, just like the stations that we've visited today on our walk, and the last excursion departed on the 9th of July 1958. Well, I really do hope you've enjoyed that video coming up from Roe Green Junction right up until the outskirts of Bolton. Thank you very much. Any more suggestions, please comment below. I'm now walking on part 3 of this 3-part series, as I've just walked along a section of the old Bolton to Bury railway line, and then I've come along and now I'm currently walking the line to Clifton Junction from Radcliffe, which originally went on to Bury itself. So 3 videos in kind of like a N shape, shall we say. So eventually, if you want to see me get to Clifton Junction and the beautiful 13 arch viaduct, please subscribe to this channel, as all 3 videos will follow on one after the other. See you in the very next one. Bye for now. All the social medias are popping up on screen right now below, so if you'd like to follow me on those, and I'd love you to do that, please click any of the links in the video description. Thanks to everybody for watching. Part 2 along the Bolton to Castleton line will be coming very, very soon, and I'll just see you there.